This is a good product to use for controlling your Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass is listed on the label as well as planter beds as a site too. Now, do you know how to use this properly?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. We'll look at the label under directions and precautionary statements to make sure you have everything you need before you leave the store.
Before your customer leaves the store with a pesticide, make sure he has everything he needs to use it properly, such as protective clothing, measuring and mixing equipment, and the correct application equipment. Remind consumers that when mixing and using pesticides to always wear safety gear. Look at the precautionary statements on the label and follow the directions for what to wear for the specific pesticide you are using. Avoid contact with your eyes and skin by wearing eye protection, gloves, long-sleeve shirt, long pants, and closed-toe shoes or boots. You may want to suggest that store managers place protective clothing and mixing and measuring equipment near pesticides. If your customer buys a concentrate, emphasize that he needs to mix it properly and safely. The label of the concentrate will give you specific instruction of how much product and water to use. Some products, such as herbicides for lawn applications, require you to calculate the square feet of the area needing to be covered. Label rates are often stated for 1,000 square feet. Never use your kitchen measuring utensils when mixing a concentrated pesticide. Use separate measuring tools and keep them with the product and away from children. Wash them after each use. Don't wash them in the kitchen, bathroom, or garage sinks because the residue in the drains can lead to wastewater treatment plants where pesticides are not removed. Ready-to-use products come with their own applicator, but the pesticide label for a concentrate will give directions for mixing and applying with different kinds of equipment that can be used. Emphasize to the customer that separate application equipment should be used for each type of pesticide, such as herbicides or insecticides, in order to prevent contamination. Granules or pellets may be applied in drop or broadcast spreaders. Some examples of equipment used for liquid pesticides are hand pump sprayers, trigger pump sprayers, and hose-end sprayers. If your customers use a hose-end sprayer, make sure the sprayer is equipped with an anti-siphon valve to prevent backflow into the water supply. You may also want to recommend they get an easy-to-install hose connection vacuum breaker to prevent back siphonage.
So when's the best time to apply pesticides?
Make sure the customer is aware that weather and irrigation can affect where the pesticide ends up. Don't apply pesticides on windy days, or you'll have drift onto other plants or other unintended areas. Apply when there is little wind, no rain, and don't water immediately after an application unless the label specifically tells you to do so. Rain and irrigation water can wash pesticides off of plants into gutters and storm drains, leading to creeks, streams, and rivers. Pyrethroids, such as bifenthrin and cyfluthrin, are a special water quality concern. Even small amounts can harm aquatic species. Avoid these pesticides whenever possible. If you are using a concentrate, you are often faced with the possibility of having a leftover mixed-up solution. It is very important to mix up only the amount you need. After a pesticide is used, the equipment must be cleaned before it is put away. You cannot store pesticide in a sprayer. It is important to keep pesticides stored in their original containers, with the label attached so that the pesticide can always be identified and so that you can refer to the label for important safety and application information. If you have leftover pesticide, use it up at labeled rates on appropriate plants listed on the label, not on plants you already treated, to avoid phytotoxicity. Don't ever dump it down drains, and don't ever dump it on bare soil because it can run off in the groundwater and lead to storm drains. Rinse equipment and any empty containers with water, and spray the rinse solution back onto the application site. Then repeat the process. Remind the customer to never clean equipment in the driveway since the pesticide may flow into gutters and storm drains. Never rinse equipment or empty containers in sinks where residue goes to wastewater treatment plants and are released in discharge. If you have unused pesticides, you can contact your hazardous waste district. Check the label for specific instructions of the pesticide you are using. Store pesticides in their original containers in locked cabinets away from children. Leaks and spills in the store or at home should be cleaned up immediately. Put pet litter, sawdust, or other absorbent material on the spill and sweep it into a garbage bag. Include the package and label. Dispose of it by taking it to a hazardous waste site. Clean the area with soap and water. Be sure to wear protective clothing when cleaning up spills.